Hi there, my name is Jim, and I posted something on Facebook that asked a couple questions and then made a couple comments about guns. Question was, how many of you have actually used your weapon to save someone's life? And the other question was, do you believe that gun rights supersede human lives? And I hadn't really put a whole lot of thought into it. It's just something that was on my mind, and I put my opinion about guns as far as what's practical and necessary. It's very short and not very well thought out, but it was just an instinct because of the shooting in Florida. And so, of course, there's some pretty heated responses, and then there was a response to a video that I posted. And so, first of all, I wanted to clarify what I believe, or my philosophy on the whole thing. So, as far as gun control, I don't believe gun control is a bad thing, because I think most people misinterpreted the word control as restrictions and taking away gun rights and things like that. The right to a gun is a very interesting thing, because the argument for the right to have a gun stems from two things. So it's a Second Amendment right, which nobody really, other than the military and police, are an organized militia, well regulated, and so on. That doesn't really occur. It's not really happening. I don't know what's wrong with my mouth right now. And then the second, the deterrent to a government takeover, which is like the flat Earth theory equivalent argument. It's just ridiculous to think that we live in an age now with information at your fingertips, right? Misinformation or not, we have the ability to communicate at will, and we see information and we see things unfolding, video and all that stuff. So there's no way when genocides happen because of disarmament of the civilian population occurred. Those were way back in the day when it was a lot easier to control people, a lot easier to manipulate people through coercion or fear, and all those things. That can't occur now. Plus, there's so many weapons out there in the civilian population that, regardless, it's just not going to happen. So you can write laws that limit weapons manufacturing. It's not going to change the fact that the United States is well prepared for a government takeover, which isn't going to happen. On that note, though, if you're really concerned with tyranny, then you need to write your congressman and tell them to shut down all the bases that are overseas, because I'm pretty sure that nobody here would want a foreign fucking occupation, but yet we seem okay with it. Even if you look at the budget of this year, which proposes almost a $700 billion budget for the military, considering the world is almost at 1.7 trillion, we're spending a huge amount of the world's we spend the majority of the world's military budget. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much we spend. So you bring those troops home, close those bases, stop paying land leases, then we can get to the problem, because the problem is not really the guns themselves, it's the people that use them, and then it's the people that are on the other end of the gun. It's the children. They're not the problem, but they are the problem. We need to help them. And so your reasons for being against gun control make no sense, because you're just saying that's more important than your kid coming home. Hey, if my kid doesn't make it, it's survival of the fittest. Fuck it, whatever. Because I recall when I moved to the States from Canada in 1996, 2 years into the assault weapons ban, I would have never known there was a ban. There's assault weapons in every store. So that argument is so fucking stupid. It really pisses me off, because all it is pre-ban. Okay, we can't manufacture for now. We don't need any more fucking weapons. For 14 years since the ban ended, we've been making assault rifles and pistols and all that stuff. We don't need any more assault rifles, okay? Because they aren't the same as a rifle. And you know why they aren't the same as a rifle? Because if they were the same as a regular rifle, a bolt action, lever action, they would be issued to the military. Okay? But no, M16s, assault rifles, they are effective. They are effective for destroying a lot of things in a short amount of time. Okay, an M16 has a sustained rate of fire without overheating the barrel of 12 to 15 rounds per minute. Imagine doing that. You can do that with a bolt action, but that's going to be pretty tedious if you don't have a magazine, right? Maybe you have a 5-clip magazine or something like that, but it's going to be tedious. So it makes them more efficient. They're great for hunting. I'm not going to say that, and I'm not going to say ban them altogether. Just ban making them. We don't need any more. Those are also natural resources. This is a finite. These resources on this earth are finite. Are you melting stuff and making recycled guns? That would be great. But we don't need them all the time. It was fine. 10 years they weren't being made. And does it affect the numbers? It looks like there's one like big shooting, and then it is pretty low. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if it's the economy. There's too many factors to say that an assault weapons ban made the impact, because I truly believe that if you're deranged and you have a plan, it's not hard to go get guns. If that's the kind of circles you go in, it's not like it's not that hard. And there are a lot of gun shops here. None of them went under during the ban. The ban will be fine. Now, so we've addressed tyranny, and we've addressed, let's say a well-regulated militia. Okay, so these people who argue for that usually are buying their own guns. They're not buying guns for people. Say, hey, in case shit hits the fan, this is where we're going to meet. We'll saddle up, and we'll take care of business. No, that's not happening either. People usually collect guns because they're investments. They're good investments, but they're still guns. So you can get a permit to be a CNR collector. Your collectors and relics and collect guns and do all that. But do we need more assault rifles? No, you can stop making them and pay more. They'll still be out there. There's still millions and millions and millions and millions of them out there. And all the accessories you want to put on them, the night ops and all that sort of stuff, and handrails, pistol grips, and whatever you want to do, collapsing stocks, you can do all that. But you're just going to pay more for it because it's a pre-ban, And so you'll still have your guns. People in California already deal with stuff like that. They can't even use a mag release without using a pointy object and things like that. There's already limitations in some states of what, how your weapons are modified. So tyranny is not going to happen. Not this day and age. That is a lame excuse. I'm sure the earth is flat too. The right to bear arms, just the right to bear arms. How many can you shoot at one time? Really? How many can you shoot at one time? What do you need? Okay? Go get your assault rifle. Be ready. Have lots of magazines, but you don't need to stock up unless you share it. If it's truly your concern is that the government's growing up. But they didn't do that for 10 years. The government didn't do anything to people. They didn't take their weapons. They weren't putting people in jail. They weren't throwing them in FEMA camps. That conspiracy theory bullshit is just dumb and silly. So be smarter than that. Don't fall into these stupid little fearmonger things. And then let's address the problem with the kids at school, okay? So that'll be real quick. It's reallocating resources. Why spend more money when we have money? We've got a huge military budget. We've got 200,000 people stationed overseas. You close those land leases. You bring those people home. You put them in the schools. You put them on the border. They spend their money here. And then in America is stronger from within. No one's going to come mess with America when America is just like standing guard, right, all the time. They'll be happy that they won't be in their backyards anymore. The world would probably appreciate that, and then we could work on reduced spending and truly just build a national defense instead of this international offense. If we're not at war, we should be at home, and we shouldn't be creating the wars either. Our policies need to change. Our mindsets need to change. It's very entitled. That's what most of these arguments about entitlement. Well, it's my right. Really? Because some old fuck over 200 years ago wrote it down? So it's your right? That makes no sense. Those kids have a right to go to fucking school without being shot. There are apparatuses now that can be put into effect, training and fencing the schools. There's a lot of things we can do and allocate the resources that we already have.